This is Laura Mafka, aka Rogan Azrine, and in today's video, I want to talk about this is the worst time to have ever have been born. And it doesn't get any more truer than that, guys, because there is just really nothing exciting about being here on this earth. There is nothing interesting and spectacular about it. I mean, pretty much when you get into the age of your late teens, or even a few people before they get into that age group, a few years younger, you've already pretty much seen what life has to offer you. And mostly what life has to offer you is just endless struggle, fighting with people, putting up with people who want to try and test you and see how they can disrespect you at any moment in time. And this is something that just makes life so dull and so pathetic to just participate in. And now, does that mean that, oh, I'm just so depressed because I'm stating a fact? Because I know you have a lot of people that like to misinterpret these messages I'm speaking as, someone asking for help being depressed. No, this is just a simple fact. Because when you look at this world, there is just corruption nonstop everywhere you look. And even just a few days ago, I had my grandmother who passed away, right? I saw how fake and superficial people really are. And especially in my family, my father this whole time usually is so busy off doing whatever, since he's retired, and he just calls out of nowhere, and he's like, your grandmother passed away. And yeah, people in the family right now are grieving. But my thing is the fact that he's just so quick to call himself trying to call more, because after that call, he started trying to call even more and asking me what I'm doing, what am I doing in my life, how are things going. I find that to be a recipe for people to try and get information and dirt on you, because this is what people like to do, especially your relatives. So you should never tell your relatives precisely what you're doing in your life. You really shouldn't be telling anyone what you're doing like that, because this goes back into my point of why I say this is the worst time to ever been born. Because only when a tragedy happens within the family, only when people think that they need you for some type of emotional comfort, they can get something off you, is when they start trying to call themselves coming around you. We see this right now with how people interact with each other, and especially as men, we already understand that we are disposable. No one cares about us unless we are providing a utility for people. And this is why I tell you guys, you have to be on a neutral mind state to where you're able to maintain some of your morals, because I never said to get rid of all morals. I'm speaking in terms of you have to decide what is going to work best for you. And if you aren't able to get over on someone, then it's no reason to talk to them. Because the only time that you should be really thinking about socializing with people like that in person is if you have a plan on how you're going to benefit from that person, how you're going to use them to get whatever it is that you want. And even, for example, me having to go to this funeral, right, out of respect for my grandmother who passed, I still have to sit there and be around family members who I really don't care for. These are people that I would never get to just know like that, because I don't care about them, because I know what type of people they are. And same is the reality when it comes to dealing with people in real life. There are a lot of people who are just no good out here, guys. There is no hope, man, for humanity like that. So this is really one of the worst times to ever be alive, because everyone is only around you also they can feel better about themselves. It's never about them trying to have something real with you. They never want to understand where you're actually coming from when you speak things that may seem a little extreme to their point of view. They never seek to understand it. It's just criticize, judge, condemn. That's all their program is, and it's honestly tiring. So when I speak from the mindset of someone who's just out for their own gain and benefit, this is the realest mindset up, because it's not going to get any better than this. You look around at the people right now who are on the streets right now starving. You look at all the people who have put in the work to get somewhere in their lives, and they just get fired just like that off their job. The boss is like, you know what? We want to hire new people. you're fired. And that's just how quick it all can just be taken away from you when you've created an honest living for yourself. So it makes you wonder, what's the point of even trying to create so much of an honest living for yourself if other people can just take it away from you? And this is why you see everyone going towards a type of career of entrepreneurship. They're trying to take up trades and create their own businesses. And that's really where the future is online, because every social interaction you're going to have with someone is artificial. This isn't like back in the day to where you had actual big communities of people to where they actually were trying to get along, to where they actually stuck together regardless of the disagreements, the arguments they had. No, we live in a time to where people will take the arguments and disagreement to a certain topic, and they will sit there and just criticize you harshly, and they will even try to physically assault you if they get mad enough. And this is why I say this is one of the worst times to ever be born, because politics, fighting people, arguing, drama, caring about worthless stuff that really doesn't mean anything, that's all people care about. No one cares about each other out here. People are just all in this for themselves, man. And there's another saying also that I have: he who loves will be a butchered dove. And it doesn't get any more truer than that, because you look at the people who've shown love, dedication, gratitude their whole lives, they're still somewhere trying to barely pay rent. They're sitting somewhere on the corner without a house to live in. They're just in a box, forgotten about. No one remembers them. And that's really the life that most of us are leading. We are leading lives to where we are just forgettable. And this has already been just predetermined. It's like no matter what you do, the results that you are working so hard for, something always comes in to block it. It's like something causes a decay in your activity. You know, whether we put it down to entropy, whether we put it down to some type of supernatural sabotage or people in general making life harder, we have to really look at that. All these things combined together, they're just malevolent forces that are feeding off your energy, feeding off your thoughts, feeding off that emotion that you just feel every day that is just negative, dude. And the more you're around these situations, these events, these people, the more you are going to give that energy, man. And that's what they want. Why do you think they hate it so much whenever you say, I'm not going to continue to play the game? I'm going to do things my way. I don't care about your opinion. I don't care what goes on with you. I want what's for me only. People hate that type of mindset because they realize that they can't get over on you. They can't make you their punk so easily. So they have to come up with different ways of moral framing of, if you're truly a good person, you should want the best for other people. You should be giving back to your community. How many people with money do you see out here giving back to the community? And even when they give money back to the community, they've already made a deal with that company that they're giving something to give them actual more credibility, more notoriety. It's not coming from their heart supposedly, and they really just want to do a good thing just to do it. That's not how people are wired in today's society. People are wired off self-gain only. And it will be the same after my grandmother's funeral. After that's over, all the artificial tears or shit, everyone's going back to do their own thing. They're going back to being even more of a douchebag. They're going back to trying to see how they can start the next drama, the next fight with someone. And this is just realistic. This is just raw and real. And people can say that this is a very ruthless and cold way that I'm explaining it, but this is how the world works, sadly. You could not be here anymore. You could not be in this existence, and the world will still be the same. We have to forget this notion of we have to do unto others as we do ourselves. We have to make this world a better place. All this human secularist thinking of, advancing the society, that's all just utter nonsense when you look at the realistic view of life. We are all engineered for a self-gaining purpose. There is no such thing as helping your fellow man. There is no such thing as trying to be a team player. Everyone at some point is going to betray the team. They're going to leave the team, regardless of if it's their family, regardless of if it's betraying their own ideals and becoming someone that they said that they would never become. This is the realm of reality. And this is how the world works, man. And this is why I say this is one of the worst times to ever be born in, because all of this artificial AI technology is showing us even more of how greedy people are. Because once you put a pleasurable consumption in front of someone, like technology, or even we could use food, we could use money, wealth, you start to see how people are so willingly to be enslaved to seeking out things that really will not provide a long-term comfort for them. And it just shows, man, that we're really on the losing side here. We are not winning at all when it comes to being a decent person. We are not winning in any avenue in life. There's only very few avenues in life to where we have somewhat little wins, which can be independent thinking, which can be a person who's actually doing things for themselves to avoid influence from all of the crap that people want to put upon you. Other than that, we're on the losing side here as humanity as a whole. It's not going to get better. The beauty in the world is destroyed. And that's about it, man. This is why I say this is the worst time to ever been born. Because the only thing you're going to see in this life from people is just selfishness, nonsense, disrespect, superficiality, predeterminism of your actions not mattering what you do at all. If it's destined to happen to you, it will happen to you. If it's not destined, it won't happen to you. And that's all there is to it, man. It's over, dude. So, yeah. I hope you guys take care. Like and subscribe if you're new. Tell me what else you guys want me to elaborate on in the comments section. I highly appreciate it. So, I've been really busy and dealing with a lot of stuff over here, man. Sinus is acting up again, but I hope you guys take care, and I hope I can reply to some of you guys. But like I always tell you guys, stay away from the modern woman. Thank you.